We was having a little difficulties, but I'm gonna start this over again. Welcome to Talk Your Barbershit. I got a special guest today, Scoop the Barber, and we gonna get him back online. Invite. Let me know if that one works. What's up, y'all? Trying to get this situated. You know how IG be acting up sometimes, but appreciate you guys tuning in. I see you, Scoop. I'm gonna send you the invite again. You should receive the invite to let you log on. There you go.
Sir, yes, sir. There we
No
go.
worries, man. You know, sometimes things happen, but now we here. You good? Can you hear me? Can you see me clearly?
Yeah, yeah, you're good. You're
All
good. I
right.
just want to adjust my stuff real quick. Make sure everything's nice and tight.
All right. Well, I want to welcome everybody to Talk Your Barbershit. Once again, I got a dope guest in the building today. We met out in Houston. We was chopping it up at his location. And now I have him on my platform, and we're going to jump right into it. I just want to say thank you, man, for taking time out your Sunday. I know you could be doing plenty other things right now, but I do want to say sincerely thank you for jumping on my platform. Um, Talking Barbershop is definitely about elevation, motivation, speaking our truth of our journey, where we've been, what we had to go through, and where we at now, and the things that it takes to keep pushing a great mindset, motivation, and having a good guidance. Is it one from above or just the people that surround you that keep pushing you forward? So I'm gonna jump right into it, School. Like, what got you into this industry? Like, what's your background? What's your personal journey?
Okay, so I don't know if anybody's. I'm pretty sure they have, but I was kind of baptized in barbering. You know what I'm saying? I got a job sweeping up hair when I was really young, running errands at a barbershop at my local barbershop, man, and I learned a lot in that barbershop. What not to do, what not to say. You know, I learned a lot of stuff just sweeping up hair, listening to guys having conversations, listening to the stylists in there having a conversation. I learned a lot, so it was kind of in my blood, but I didn't take it seriously until I got a mentor, a guy that put me on to the and let me made me help me get respect for it. I was cutting hair in my house and all that kind of stuff. You know, I had a pager back then, and you make appointments off your pager and all that kind of stuff. And then he picked me up one morning, and he didn't have any money in his pocket. He's like, "Look, man, I'm broke. You know, just messing with me." And we opened up the shop at like 6 a.m. and then we were there to like 9 or 10 o'clock. And I know he didn't have any money because we just had some back in the day they wore Dickie shorts, and we just had some Dickie shorts and t-shirts on. And I know he didn't have no money, so he wasn't playing with me. But we, at the end of the day, when we got in the car, we locked up, walked to the car. He turned the car on, locked the doors, hit the dome lights, and man, he pulled out like $400 worth of checks in one hand, and then he pulled out about $800 worth of cash in the other hand.
Oh wow.
And at that point, and that was like 1990 maybe.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at that point, man, I never looked at it the same again. I was like, man, I'm gonna be rich like this. So I was on the football team, man, and coach was like, "Is anybody out here not dedicated?" I'm still thinking about this money he just showed me the other night, and he was like, "If anybody out here not dedicated to this team 150%, leave your pads at my office after practice."
Mm,
Still, I heard a little bit of what he said, but I was still thinking about that them checks and that cash, man.
yeah,
And I left my pads off of there, and I enrolled in the cosmetology barbering program at my school in high school, man. And that's how I did it, man. It's just been when I graduated, I had my diploma and my license,
yeah,
and I went at it. And that was 1990. 1993 is when I graduated. 1994 is when I went into business and was straight into it.
yeah. But
Yeah,
man, I just think about that era of seeing being going to the barber shop, seeing all the guys in there.
yeah,
Some women, will come and get their haircuts, but majority just guys talking loud, talking about sports, talking about life. It was a barbershop like, I mentioned to you earlier that, in Inglewood, I would go there. And probably, depending on what time I would arrive, probably when the 9 o'clock too, depending on what time I would get my hair cut because
mhm,
everybody just in there just having a field day and
yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
Networking,
Yeah.
networking. Yeah,
Yeah. So, it was almost like a party atmosphere. It was like the club before the club, it being in the
exactly.
barbershop. So I get what you're saying. And like for myself, like I wasn't around it. Not as far as like the barber community, but just being around here. I
Hmm.
had a cousin of mine that did braids. She would know how to do individuals and all type of style. So I was always around it with her. And then when I went to the barber shop, I had one. My first barber was a female barber, and she
Yeah, me
was
too. Lady that
yeah,
trained me was yeah, it was a
yeah.
woman. It was a woman. She was cold. She was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the best. And then I don't know what happened. I think she was getting maybe harassed because she was very attractive female.
They usually are. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she just upped it on it, and I come across an older gentleman, very wise guy. He had his crew, very fun atmosphere and stuff. They almost like a brotherhood. The way you walked in there and just felt the vibe and stuff. And
Hmm.
later on, he definitely became my mentor.
Right on.
When I decided to get into the barber game. But more back to you, like damn, like saying. So did you continue playing football, or you just went in there, dropped the pass off, and then you just went straight to the barbershop?
So the so the barbering the barbering program, barbering cosmetology program at my school, Lancaster High School, was 3 hours long. So you couldn't be in athletics and be in it. So
Okay.
I literally like I liked it. I loved it hanging out with my friends. We go to games. And I love being an athlete and I love playing football. But man, I just that reset my brain, bro, at that time, man. It's like I wanted I want gold Dayton's and candy apple paint jobs. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't gonna get it for me playing, football. And I knew one day, the kind of parents I had. My dad was like, bro, you have to get up and do what I do one day.
Yeah.
And so that was always in the back of my head. And I was already cutting here already, and I was really kind of running a little business out of my shop, like most
Okay.
barbers do, starting the house. So I literally had a pager. My clients would call me, page me for a haircut,
Yeah.
and I give them a time and a location and to pull up. And I had a little chair in my room, and I was cutting hair. So
Okay.
it was a natural um, evolving, it was naturally evolved into to the industry. Just being around it and then doing it myself. He helped me get a healthy respect for the money that you can make. And yeah, I didn't play football no more. I was done, bro. I was gonna be an entrepreneur cutting hair. I'd never seen nothing like that. Like I'd seen hustlers and stuff like that, but my parents had decent jobs. We're working class people, but I've never seen somebody make that kind of money in one day and be legitimate.
Yeah,
You see
yeah,
that? You
yeah,
feel me?
yeah.
So that was, and what it was he owned his shop, so it was a accumulation of booth rent, and it was accumulation of cash from haircuts and stuff that he had did that day, and it
Okay.
was probably about $1,500 if I remember correctly, and I learned a lot from him, and I fought all the way through it. Like I literally went from the guy sweeping up hair to he'd work for S Curl, so he'd be traveling a
Oh,
lot.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
he'd take off for the weekend on Friday. I'd still have to show up Saturday for work, and he'd be like, "Hey, pick up the booth rent for me, deposit it in a bank account." I'm like, "Come on, man, I got stuff I got,"
yeah,
And I was reluctantly, he was teaching me without me knowing, and I
yeah,
was
yeah,
reluctantly learning. So
yeah,
now, so now I know that each one of these guys pay X amount. That this has to be deposited into the bank so that the check will clear. And he taught me how to run a shop without ever really trying to teach me. And it was really I learned a lot from him. He was really solid dude.
no,
Yeah.
I like that development and storyboard of like, someone's like this peeping you out and saying, "Hey, I like this young gentleman. He has a good head on his shoulders and he wants to really elevate himself. And I'm gonna see if I, throw this line out, this
Yeah.
this hook and see if he gonna catch on when I'm trying to display to him." And like for you to say like, "Hey, once I peep this," and then I'll say, "Okay, now I'm gonna go to school. I want to, get what I need to really elevate myself on this next stage." Like, how was it for like the people, right, that knew that you cut hair, but once you told them, "Hey, I'm taking this really serious and I want to, really make a career out of it," like, what was the conversation that was being had? Like, did you just have straight go get it, like, we support you, or was it like, "Oh, you trying to cut hair, like you trying to be a barber? Barbers don't, they don't make money, like, go get a real job." Like, what was those conversations?
Well, it was nothing celebrity about it back then.
Yeah,
Um, most of the guys I was cutting their hair, and I was cutting like I got a pretty good reputation for cutting hair. So I grew up in Lancaster, which is literally across the freeway
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Oak Cliff or Dallas.
yeah.
So there was DeSoto, Lancaster, Wilmer Hutch, Cedar Hill, Red Oak, and I was literally cutting people hair from the football teams from all those schools. So
Okay.
I had built up a little reputation for cutting hair. So yeah, did they give it to me? Yeah, they wanted me on the football team. They wanted me to go to the games, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they wanted I was cutting their hair too. So they
Right.
like, look, they didn't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah.
They were still hitting me up by the cut, but that's just how it is in the culture. They for me to go from playing football to being in cosmetology and doing perms and all that kind of stuff, it was kind of a shock for them, but um, they're not laughing anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not
Yeah.
laughing
Right.
anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So like, once you got to that point and you graduated, like, did you, how long was you at this shop until you maybe took another leap into your career to do something else? Like, what was the stages of each growing point for you in this industry?
Oh wow. So I'm glad you asked that. So when I graduated high school, what I was telling you, my brief bio, I graduated. I was waiting on my license to. I went to take state board. I was waiting on my license, and we went to a club called the Spot. And if you're familiar with Dallas, it's right there off Camp Wisdom in the parking lot area of Redbird Mall. And we got into it with some dudes, and my mom was like, "Look, man, you can't be here this summer. You need to go somewhere and chill out for the summer. Come back, get your
Mhm.
license, then go to work."
Mhm.
So my mom originally is from Oklahoma, a little town called Ottabel, Oklahoma. It's like 16 miles into Oklahoma,
Okay.
maybe about 45 minutes from Paris, Texas. So she made me go down there for the summer till everything cool off. And in the process, me and my brother were down here and we wanted haircuts. And we was like, well, where's all black people get their haircut at? It's
Right.
like, well, there's an older guy that cuts hair, but you got to catch him before 12 because he works at the bingo hall as a security guard. And we're like, what? All these black people? And there's no full-time barber. Like,
Yeah,
no, we just got homeboys that cut hair and stuff like that. And light went off in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna set up shop right here.
yeah,
And my mom was like, nope, that wasn't the plan. My dad was like, nope, that wasn't the plan. You need to be here in Lancaster. Already got a place. But I'm like, no, I'm like, I probably really I could focus more if I'm down here. Let me try this for a little while. So I went to work here. The guy that I was telling you about, the security guard, we worked together for probably about a year, and I learned a lot from him too. A lot of customer service. I learned that from him. Uh, the biggest thing I learned from him was, like he said, every 10 years you need to reacquaint yourself with the community, because that's a 10-year gap to where people have moved on, grew up,
yeah,
and moved off, and you need to reacquaint yourself with them.
yeah,
So he had a heart attack, and he kind of said, "Hey man, I'm gonna leave this to you. You take it from here." And I was like, "Well, you're not gonna be here no more. I'm done." I was like, "I go back to Dallas." And he said, "Man, these people in the community, man, they need a barbershop. Man, we have a lot of professional people, black people that have professional jobs in the community. And if you leave, where are they gonna get their haircut at? They're gonna have to go an hour to Texarkana, 45 minutes to Paris." He said, "These people need you down here." And I was like, "Man." He said, "Just take it and do what you want to do with it." He said, "It's you now." And really, essentially, what he was giving me was I was inheriting his clientele,
mhm,
because the I had to find my own building and all that. And what I wanted to change in this area was there was segregated. It was still kind of segregated. It was the black people went over here, they went to him. The Native American people went to a guy that was in the next town over, and the white people was on the east side, and they went to a white salon. But over a period of time, the school I went to, it was like, hair is hair, we don't care. So my goal was to integrate it all,
yeah,
and I'm gonna make you want to come get a haircut from me no matter what you look like.
mhm,
So when he gave me the steering wheel, man, I just took off driving. And and one thing he said, "Do it like you." He said, "If you want to go to Dallas so bad," he said, "make your shop like it would be in Dallas." He said, "This is me. I'm 60 something years old. You do what you want to do with it."
yeah,
So I got another building, man, and I went for it, bro. I literally put one chair, one station in at a time, man, and just went for it, bro. And man, God bless me, man. I think He seen my heart where I was at. I've
yeah,
always had a passion for helping people and talking to people. Um, I just think I was born to do this. I don't have a doubt in my mind. I was born to be a barber. I just love it. I love every facet of it.
yeah,
And I took it and did what I want to do with it. And I made it a really, really nice barbershop in rural America.
mhm,
And that was in 1994.
yeah,
So I've been in business. I've had my own shop literally since I
yeah,
was like 19. And
wow,
now I got it's four of us in here. I got two more guys on the way. And it's like I'm about to relocate the shop for the first time. And that's giving me anxiety. I've been in this building since 94. And
wow,
now I'm
wow,
about to move to a building with twice the size of what I'm in now. And I'm just, it's a little bit anxiety about it, but I feel like this is what I'm
yeah,
led to do, and I'm
yeah,
gonna be all right.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I hope I don't mess up the quote, but if it doesn't make you scared, then it's not. It's another way for it. I'm gonna change it
I
up.
know
It
what you're talking
doesn't.
about. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, basically, if it doesn't, if you're okay doing it and it doesn't make you second guess or
Yeah.
have any kind of concern,
Yeah.
then it might not be. It's not a chance. It might not be a. I know what you're saying though. That's a
Yeah.
good quote though.
Yeah.
Right.
um, I loved everything definitely about that story about somebody making the opportunity or showing you the opportunity to see something bigger than yourself. And
Yeah.
then also when you said when I noticed within my area, certain amount of people was going here,
Yeah.
a certain amount of people was going here, but I want to make this the hub for everybody that everybody can feel comfortable coming here, no matter what race you are, what type of hair texture you have. That once you walk out of here, sit down in our chair, you gonna
Hmm.
leave satisfied.
Right.
And I noticed um, that I see a lot of people that are not very not trying to diversify themselves when it comes to this industry. And I
Hmm.
heard from you in the beginning, like you spoke, like I went into the barber industry, but I also learned cosmetology as well. So
Hmm.
I'm knowledgeable about what I can do. And I noticed that when I see a lot of barbers nowadays, they only stick to one particular thing, and they're not trying to elevate or move out the range. Or we had a conversation about where the fade came from, and I
Hmm.
understand why or where it came from, but I want to see more people understanding that hair is hair.
Right. Hair's
You know,
hair, we don't care.
yeah,
Yeah, hair's hairs, we don't
yeah.
care. That's our motto. So one thing about it, like the advantage is a disadvantages and advantages for getting into this early. I got into it early enough where you had to literally want to do this because it wasn't glorified like it is now, and you
Mhm,
had to be a student of it. So I would raise you this. So Elvis' primary barber was a black man.
mhm,
um, Frank Sinatra's primary barber was a black man. Now I'm sure they had their haircuts by other people, but their primary guy was a black man.
mhm.
So that tells you the and it was a time where they weren't allowed in some places,
Right.
and their barber of choice was a black man.
Yeah.
So I'm not some dude just walked on the scene trying to get famous on Instagram, bro. I'm a student of this and I love it, right?
Mhm,
So when I say that, that's always been my motto. Like I don't want to be able to just cut, the African Americans. I want to be able to cut everybody, man. I want everyone. I want to make everyone feel good, right?
yeah.
And over the period of time, man, I forced my will. Like I had haircuts walking around here that and I had a guy, I can remember him right now. His name was Colin Dennison. And he was like, Scoob, I want you to cut my hair, man. I don't want to go where my dad goes. I want you to cut my hair.
Right.
And he literally broke the first cycle of going to this. And I'm not trying to show shade on other business, but he literally broke the cycle of like third generation going to the shop getting their haircut there because their haircuts weren't like mine. And I was sending people to school with better haircuts, more trendy, more fashionable haircuts. And he wanted that, and that opened the door. And once he came and his experience was good, he went back and told his friends, more people came and more people came, and then the Native Americans came, and then Hispanics came, and before you know it, I mean, in my shop we all can do everything. We don't have a certain demographics. It's pretty much, if we did a time lapse camera in here, you'd see so many people coming in here of different races and creeds. And I'm on the west side. I'm dead up in the hood, so I'm gonna tell you where if
Yeah.
you're in Dallas, I would be off of I'd be by Sweet Georgia Browns. I'm dead up in the hood, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, you made me think of something that came across my mind while we was talking. I wanted to touch back on your journey when you had two individuals. It may be maybe been more, but from what you were sharing, two
Hmm.
individuals that um took you under their wing. It was like, hey, this is what we have. This is what I built,
Hmm.
but I also can see you taking it to the next level and elevating far more than what I have ever thought about doing. Um, how do we get back to great leadership? And maybe you might not have the answer, maybe, but I just want to hear your advice or your opinion of like, where are we missing at this particular from what I'm seeing, I came a little bit later, but
Hmm.
the structure or the development of like getting someone that you might see that might have the spark and bringing them under your wing and showing them the leverage and growth of a barbershop and eventually saying, okay, now I want you to go on your own and do the same thing. I don't see that anymore. I see a lot of people saying that, they don't like the barbershop anymore.
Okay.
The working along or being in the environment of other barbers is, it's not, it doesn't do me
Yeah. Yeah.
anything. And, I'd rather just be in the suite and do my own thing. And, what happened to, from, you've been in the game since the early 90s, and, I came in a little bit later in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're seeing as far
Hold
as
on, man. I'm getting
the,
harassed by this fly, bro. I'm sorry. He working me over here, man.
right?
Okay. All right, I'm focused now.
But
So
like the future of barbering, like where do you see it? As, like far as the industry, the growth, the goals, the excitement, like for yourself being in this game, like what do you see for the future barber?
it's a lot of moving parts on that. So let me try to tackle them a little bit at a time.
Okay.
Uh, I would say, and based off of me having conversations with these out one, the second guy I told you about, the guy I met when I was down there, he's passed away. But the guy that initially mentored me, that helped me have respect for it, I think the thing that he's told me, the reason why he chose me was because I was willing to listen. I wasn't when he talked to me, I wasn't listening to react. I was listening to learn, because to me he had credibility, and I wanted to listen to what he said. I mean, if anytime you got credibility, I'm gonna listen to what you got to say, and that's just something I learned from just my father at home. So he told me that I had the willingness to listen. I could take criticism, and I was very respectful to older people or whatever, and I brought something to the table. And when I say bring something to the table, like a lot of people want you to help them out. Teach me. I want to be like this. I want to do this for you. But like, what are you going to do in return? What am I going to get for passing this on to you, this mantle? And a lot of guys don't think about that. So what I offered him was, man, whatever. Like I told you, I was doing whatever he asked me to do. Like he had me there till I was like there to 9 o'clock at night. That was way past working hours, but I was there
Right.
helping out, taking out trash, whatever he asked me to do. I did it. I wasn't supposed to. I was helping out doing chores. My job was to sweep up here and run errands. So getting booth rent, telling the stylist, "Hey, Kevin want me to pick that up for you before you leave," was not part of my job, but he needed me to do it because he was on his way to DFW to catch a flight. So I did it. And I didn't give him slack. I didn't want to do it. I didn't, I had stuff I had to do myself, but I did it anyway. And that's what I was bringing to the table. I was willing to do the things that he couldn't do because I knew his schedule to help him out. Right. So that was my exchange for the wisdom and the knowledge that he gave me. And it was well worth it. It was a small investment to do some of the things he asked me to do, get up and unlock the shop, or he left his key, and I had to do stuff like that. But what I wasn't thinking about was I'm 16, 17 years old. I got a key to your shop.
All right.
You trust me like
Yeah.
that to
Yeah.
go open up I got a key to his shop.
Mm.
So a lot of kids today, man. So the second part of that is these cell phone things, man, are an experiment. They don't have the information to tell you what 20 years of a kid growing up using a cell phone. So a lot of them don't like interaction and talking. They don't want that. So they'd rather be by itself. I don't really understand the sweet thing. I like being in a shop full of guys. I like because I talk to their clients. Their clients talk to me. I needed a part of my car wash welded. It was actually one of my other guys that I work with, his client, that was able to do it for me. If I'm in a suite, I'm just talking to my clients. I don't have access to his clients or his clients or his clients. So if I didn't have access to them, then I wouldn't have been able to get my this little part welded on my car wash. So I mean, I don't understand wanting to be off somewhere by myself. Sharp, what is it? Iron sharpens iron. So I've been out of school a long time. When they start coming in here, I knew stuff that I've been knowing for years that I was able to share with them. Well, they're fresh out of school. They're able to share stuff with me that I hadn't seen in a while. So we all got better just being up here around each other. If I'm off by myself, I don't know. Water sitting off by itself is stagnant. I want flowing water,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Some people like some people, they like the exclusivity. I'm not like that. I like to be in the shop and the environment. I like cracking jokes and talking about politics and talking about what's going on that day and all that kind of stuff. I like that. I like that environment. So I don't want to be by myself somewhere taking one client at a time, and I don't want to do that. But to each his own. I'm not
Yeah. Yeah.
knocking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not knocking it,
Yeah.
but I think the way it was intended to be was intended. So I went to Black Wall Street to back up what I'm saying. I went to Black Wall Street down there in Tulsa. So I went to the virtual barbershop that's off of that's in the museum. And it was in that barbershop where the beginnings of Black Wall Street started, where they networked. The store owner networked with the farmer. The
Yeah.
farmer
Yeah.
went networked with the engineer, and they built business and construction. It all took place in that barbershop. And you're able to sit in a chair and get like a virtual haircut, like a hologram would be cutting your hair.
Yeah.
And it reassessed me and realigned me to where what a barbershop is meant to be. Now imagine at that time if it was three barbershops in that town, they all worked by themselves. This guy that works at a store went to one barber. This guy that worked as a farmer went to that barber. They would have never got together and created what they created. It all I'm not joking, bro. It literally started in a barbershop.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
their
Trust me.
whole
Yeah.
eco their
Yeah.
whole ecosystem that
Yeah.
they built
Yeah.
started in a barbershop where they never had to go outside their area to get anything that they needed
Yeah.
because they met other people in that barbershop and they networked.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what it was intended to be. Not you off by yourself away from everybody. I don't want to because it's somebody that needs to hear what you have to say. Okay, this might be a little controversial. This dude comes in, little dude comes in, man, he got a purse on him. So it's like we didn't clown the dude. We said, "Hey, bro, what you got this purse on for?" And he looked around and said, "No, this is fashionable." I'm like, "Fashionable to who?" Nah, bro, don't come in there with no purse like that no more. Get you a wallet, a backpack. I said, I carry a backpack. I need it. Everything you put in that purse on your hip, I got it in my backpack, bro. Throw it
Yeah.
over your shoulder, not on your hip. And he received that at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know, man. If you're out by yourself, man, you're not interacting with people, man. You're not correcting with love. You're not dealing with people, man. I don't know what. You just about the money and getting yours. I don't know, man. I want to I want to spark somebody that go on and leave here and go do something. I want them to sit in here and hear a conversation and change their mind on something, you know, not just cut their hair, dap them up, appreciate you, bro, and let them and send them out here. I want it to be, you come in here a couple times, you're gonna hear the same tone because we ain't changed a lot.
Right.
You'll hear the same underlying narrative in here, and it's gonna
Yeah.
sink in one day.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be a part of. But once again, to each his own. This is my success pattern for me, and I've
Yeah.
been pretty successful with it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about more of your success. Like, tell me more about like the avenues that you have created or partnerships that you have been able to build within this industry, and let's get to it. Like, I know we met through the umbrella of cuts, but if you have anything else before you get to that you want to talk about, let's jump to it.
Absolutely. The importance of going to shows once again. Everything that I've done. I mean, I worked for S Curl before. I've worked for Gold Supreme. I've worked for Cinderella Hair. I've worked for a lot of companies in the industry, and I've gotten every one of those opportunities from being at a show. And so I really emphasize going to shows. I love them. I could never stop. I could if I could just go to one after another and go on a tour, I would do it. I
Yeah.
like them that much.
Yeah.
But I was in Barner Brothers, and I was at a show, and we're just walking around. I was looking, whatever, and I bumped into a guy. No, they were standing at the same area. They were watching. It might have been G Wiz. I'm not sure, but we were standing watching somebody cut hair, and he's like, "You a barber, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Man, my name is Obi, and this is so and so. Man, we're developing this app, and we're looking for barbers to help us develop this app, man. More like." we're all geeks, and I'm an owner, and it's like we want to get this started, and we need feedback from real barbers so we can make it better for barbers. So I'm like, okay, give me your card, bring your card. I threw in my backpack like the other 1,000 cards I got that
Right.
day, and I gave him my card,
Mhm.
and went on by my day. Uh, I got a letter in the mail, or it was a letter in the mail and an email, and they asked me if I wanted to be an ambassador. And at the time it was just like, oh, we'll give you free clothes, you just post for us, but we really need you to help us develop this app. So I went in there and I told them different things that might be better for the app, that barbers might want to do. And I learned how to work the app from an engineer perspective and from a barber perspective. So
Okay.
I helped them do rollout and add features to the app that could be better. I wasn't the only one. It was a few of us at the time, and I helped them engineer the app, and then that rolled on to more. They re-signed me, and then the money came, and the opportunities came. But I didn't do it with an intention to make the money. I did the intention was like, this is a cool app. I like it. It's working for me. I get to use it free, and it helped. To bring back to that question we were having off the records, it helped me bottleneck all of those avenues that I was telling you about: text
Mhm.
messaging, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all of these different avenues where clients were trying to communicate.
Mhm.
So to let you, so it was 2000, it was 2015, 2016.
Mhm.
So there really wasn't a whole lot of booking apps out. It was Style Seat was
Yeah.
probably maybe the primary one. So
Mhm.
it wasn't a whole lot of ways to do this. So now I tell people that they're like, oh, well, just do. But at the time when I was doing this was 2015. So it wasn't a lot of avenues to book. And they helped me bottleneck and control and take the stress out of my app. So literally, when you build it out, you set it down, you cut hair all day, you just confirm appointments. It's like a personal receptionist, and it takes care of all of this stuff for you. And my barbers, they start seeing how stress free my life was. They jumped on it. They start building and controlling their clientele. No more about to lock up, and then the lady comes in. We call them soccer moms. They come in with three kids. Hey, you got room for three more?
Yeah.
So no more of that.
Right.
No more. Yeah, no more
Yeah.
last minutes. Everything is controlled, and we know who's coming in, and we cut their hair, and it made the whole experience better.
Yeah.
And I'm still with them to this day. I'm still help them do what I can to help them. On the engineering part, I run a shop beta where all my barbers are on there, and I'm a shop owner beta.
Okay.
That feature is going to roll out here pretty soon. And I'm what made me hook and line up with them was during COVID. We were locked down for a certain period of time, and I was paying my utilities out of my personal capital,
Mhm.
and I was kind of locked in the house. I couldn't cut hair, and I was kind of getting stressed out. And I got up one morning, and I had a message on my app, and it was the cut, and they said that they were going to that there was a link. There was a link on the app to take you to the PPP loan things, right?
Mhm.
And it was a particular link because they didn't send me to the Paycheck Protection app. It sent me to a personal link where you can get money, you can get a loan that you wouldn't have to pay back.
Okay.
So that I was like, I went through I was one of the first barbers to do it.
Mhm.
And it was because they sent that link to me, I was able to go straight to the Small Business Association, fill out that paperwork, and get me a loan for and secure capital that I didn't have to pay back.
That's fire.
and
Yeah.
and I was able
Yeah.
to take that capital, reinvest into my business, and
Mhm.
take off from there. It literally took me off, man. Like I was able to do things that I didn't. I had the resources to do things that I didn't have based off of that. And that's when it let me know that this ad company is for the little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what made me hooked. I was like, man, hey. And then as I got to know the team, and I talked to Obi, I got his number in my phone, and I know Darren, and I know Jennifer, and I know Meg, and I know the people that work in there, and they're all my ambassador, the lady that's in charge of ambassador Chantas. I get to know these people, man, and they're real people, and they good people, man, and they literally care about
Yeah.
the people that are on the app. I mean, there's a billboard on there constantly. It's just they're in the culture, they know the culture, and they looking out for the culture, and they want to keep people. They want barbers to be better, ultimately at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
that's what made me sign and be a part of that. So I'm part of a team and a family.
No, that's dope, man. Because like you said, I don't really see a lot of these other apps really taking time to really find out who they dealing with, how to
Mm-mm.
really help them establish their business and elevate it to the next level. You just really kind of just sign up with an app and you just kind of figure it out and do your own thing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they hear you speak on like the verbal and connections that you have with certain people on it and how they came to you and they say, hey, I really want to know the barber's really personal information of how to make this app work, because you
Hmm.
can just kind of think what barbers think what they want, or you figured it and then kind of build this app and just let it kind of do its thing, and eventually you
Hmm.
just tweak it over time. But I see like they're really, from the time that I spoke to you to now, I think the people that are working on it are really truly invested because they're not rushing anything. They're
Mm-mm.
really trying to create a formula that's gonna last beyond them. So
They're
yeah,
they're they're getting their information from guys that get up every day and go to work.
yeah,
They're not getting it, and whose lives are more realistic. Like
yeah,
I'm not flying on a plane to touch
yeah,
some celebrity's hair. I'm getting up every day, going to the
yeah,
shop,
yeah,
running into problems running into scheduling situations that I need a fix for. So I'm gonna tell you another thing. We in DC just this past summer, they threw $100 million, 100 million people appointments booked on the app, and they threw a party, a block party downtown DC for anybody and everybody that wanted to come, just to show love. This was 100 million clients appointments booked through the app celebration, like
mhm.
like we made it. You know what I'm saying? And it was really very very humbling for me, man. And I to be a part of something like that from conception and to 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 literally see it in its infancy to see it now, that
Yeah,
was really humbling, man. I was able to sit in on a board meeting and just kind of watch, man. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know. I don't know what would it be like at Booksy. If
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah,
But I'm just telling you what I do know,
yeah,
that this company is trying to help barbers be more professional, make money, and retain customer and have customer retention, man. Bring people back into your business, man. And I know that for a fact.
that's dope. I like something you said earlier as well, where you was like, I've been to a lot of a lot of these barber expos, and if I could, I would probably just travel to each one of them and just
Yeah.
experience the environment.
Yeah.
Um, what is it that you truly love about the expos, and what is it that like just makes you continue to say, "Hey, I just want to be around these expos and take whatever I can from it."
I would say the number one thing would be, over the course of the years, would be education. And then kind of like, kind of like we talked before, the kind of education parts of it. And then I would definitely say networking,
Mhm.
um, meeting people. Um, I worked for a company called Gold Supreme, and they made the stoves, the curling irons, the Marcel stoves that were different
Yeah,
colors.
yeah,
I think if you watch that movie with Queen Latifah in it, I think it's Beauty Shop.
yeah, beauty shop. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
their equipment was actually used in that movie, and they used their equipment and stuff, so they use that as one of their props. So I
Oh,
got a job. That's an unlikely job for me to have, but I got that job based off of being at a show, being professional, being a good salesman, talking to people. And a guy named Ross and his assistant Gidget gave me that position, and I learned a lot from them as well, like what goes on behind the show. Like I know what goes on behind a
Mhm.
show, putting up your booth, um, um, how to negotiate on the size of your booth,
Yeah.
and how money could get you closer to the main venue. I mean, I learned a lot, bro,
Yeah. Yeah.
from just being in. If I had not been at those shows and met those certain people, and had a conversation with someone, I'd never got that job.
Yeah.
And then when I came, like I was moving stuff off a shipping truck and setting up a booth. I wasn't coming in on some haircut and stuff, and I'm a fly. I was moving, literally moving stuff off a truck and setting up a booth and trying to sell curling irons. But it was an opportunity that paid me well, and I was able to travel all over the United States without any cost to me to do it, to meet other people, to get to know other people, to be in the same spaces as other people. Uh, because I was at a show and had a conversation with a guy that needed someone who didn't mind working hard and could sell some products for him. So that's that's my win-win in the show. If you're not going to shows, like I know there's a controversial thing about shows and who's having shows now, bruh,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you ought to go to shows, man.
Yeah.
Whoever having the shows, whatever nationality they
Yeah.
are, man,
Right.
you go to them shows,
Right.
man.
Just,
Don't be tripping. Go to them
yeah.
shows. All
Yeah.
of them, man.
Facts.
Support all of
Facts.
them. You want
Facts.
them all at yours, don't you?
Right?
Show up at theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you one more question. So, always, you always hear these questions where, what would you do if you could go back and change it? But I want to change it a little bit. And I want to say, if you could be the 19-year-old version of yourself now, and like everything that you experienced from the 90s, but take all that energy and you're 19 now in this realm, what would you feel like where would you be right now in this industry? How would you maneuver in this industry? And what would be like your point of attack to get you where you love to be at this point right now?
So if I was 19 right now
Yeah,
and I was jumping into it,
yeah,
I'm gonna stick with something I think is timeless, and that's just mastering your craft, learning your craft, having strong work ethics. I think that'll take you anywhere. And I think when the excitement of social media dies down and the views go down, at the end of the day, if you're a good barber and you work hard, you'll win. You'll be successful. So a 19-year-old me right now, I would take advantage of social media. You'd be crazy not to.
hmm
I would definitely take advantage of social media. I would try to buy me a home as soon as I possibly can, because that's your first initial investment. I
yeah,
will buy me a home as soon as I can, and I would pay all my taxes, bro. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, if I had not paid my taxes, the right amount of taxes when I applied for that loan,
hmm
that loan was based off of the amount of taxes and your income, bro. So
yeah,
if you were paying, you're making 80, 90,000 and you were only reported 30, that's what kind of loan you would have got.
right,
If you were making 125 and 150, then that's what kind of loan you would got that you didn't have to pay back.
yeah.
You feel me?
No, I hear you.
So
Trust.
so so I
Yeah,
would say that somebody told me, man, don't never report
right.
everything you own, bro. You know, you ain't gotta do all that, bro.
Yeah,
Bruh, pay your taxes.
yeah.
I mean, if you got to do it quarterly, pay them, bro, because that's the only thing that in the world of finance and money, that's the only thing that they pay attention to. They don't care about what you got going through your bank account. They don't care. They're only concerned about how much taxes you pay because that tells them what your income is. That's the only
Uh-huh.
thing they recognize.
Uh-huh.
Loans and any access to capital. That's the only way they care about it. They don't care about none of that other stuff. It's the amount of taxes that you pay.
Yeah.
That's what I would be doing. Get my home early as soon as I possibly could. Pay my taxes, and man, my craft, master my craft. Never stop learning on my craft. Customer service, being not only just a good barber, but having excellent customer service. If you got those locked down, I think you could literally survive anything.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. Uh, all my customers came back. All the shop customers came back after COVID. They were very. You remember when that happened? They were all about love for their barber back then. It was
Great.
like, oh man, they were kicking us down, tips and everything. It was so much gratitude
Yeah.
and everything. But that's what I would tell. That's what I would be doing with the information that I got now. Is those four core things. Is what I would be doing, man. If I was a 19-year-old, taking advantage of social media, definitely. I don't know if I be. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would have the million platform, man, because I
Right.
think what comes with that is you got to kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
conform with what
Yeah.
if you got that
Yeah.
many, you got a million followers, bro, you
Yeah.
can't really be authentic, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want that, but I would definitely want to be well known in my community. I would want my barbershop to be well known in my community. I want my I would want my experience in my shop. I want people to leave here saying, "Man, I learned this up here," or "Man, school put me on to this. Now I know this guy," or "I met a guy at the barbershop that offered me a job," or that kind of place, that kind of resource to the community is what I would want to be. And I think if you maintain those core values there, then I think you literally invincible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you are. Yeah.
Man, school, you came out, you delivered on all highest levels of what I was hoping to bring when I created this Talk Your Barbership platform.
Right on.
I just want to say I appreciate you for taking time out your day to come on here and chop it up, share your journey, your growth,
Absolutely.
elevation, and inspiring the youth. This
Right on.
keeping this barber game going. Um,
Absolutely.
I hope I see you, soon at another expo since you love every expo. So hopefully I'll run across you again. But um,
If the cut book me there, I'll be there, bro.
for sure, for sure. Um, Man, this, like I always tell all my guests, this platform is definitely for y'all. So if you ever got something that you want to share, you want to come up and chop it up to say, yo, G, let's talk that shit, and we can definitely get on my platform and make it happen. So whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, thanks, cool. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
All day, man. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good
All
one.
right, now. You too.